Hi guys, it's Angie Bell with My Fairy Treasures. Okay, you guys, I am back. All right, let's just make sure I got this the way I want it. Okay, I'm back and I want to show you guys how to make these identification cards. If I can find the person, I was just watching videos and I saw this girl make these about a couple months ago. So if I can find the girl I saw make these, I will leave her link below. But if not, I didn't discover this. We rarely discover anything in this world because everything's been done. But this is my version or my take on making these identification cards. And I just thought these would be so cute for our junk journals or for crafting period, to put in pockets and put into little envelopes or to paper clip onto a page. So let me just show you. And this is Dorothy Danridge. I absolutely think she is so beautiful. She was an actress, I think in the 40s and 50s. I think that was Dorothy Danridge when she was in her heyday and doing her thing as an actress. Look how beautiful she is. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to make these identification cards. This is Dorothy Danridge again. And I just thought this woman, I don't know who she is, but I found her on the internet. I think she's just so gorgeous. Isn't she beautiful? So what I did to get these pictures is I just, I Googled vintage headshots. And then that's when it gave me a bunch of different headshots. Also, if you have a certain like actress or something you want to, I also put in headshots of Dorothy Danridge, and that's how I got these three of her. I got her when I just did vintage headshots. She came up. Okay, so when you print them out, you know how you can print out photographs 8x10, 4x6. Choose the wallet size. If you have something that goes smaller than that, I used to, but we changed computers, and so the smallest I can go right now is wallet size. Take that wallet size and you can print that out, and then you can trim it down to get trim out everything unnecessary till you get it really small. Or if you have on that page where you can print out, you know, these pictures, if you have an edit button, edit it, and then you can just take arrows and just bring it in and 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 bring it in to make it as small as possible. But if you don't have that and you don't understand that, but you do have the wallet size choice to print out the wallet size and then just trim all the way around till you get yourself something like, see how small that is? This one I wasn't able to get that small, so I, in fact, let me show you. I had to do, and we'll do both of these. I had to make them a little bit different because this picture is the smallest I can make this picture to make it look right still. So I had to use, with my stamps, I used this identification here, but I used my small identity card there. Okay? All right, so we are going to make these. And one more thing, let me show you before we get started, so that you know where to get these at. Okay, I got mine from Temu. I think what they basically did was copy Tim Holtz. At least they were inspired if they didn't copy him. Because I have seen Tim Holtz. So if you have these, pull out your Tim Holtz ones. But I did get these from Temu. So I just wanted to show you. And what I put in, because somebody told me this, and I can't even tell you who. I was watching somebody's video, and they got theirs from Temu also, and they actually put in Tim Holtz stamps, and these came up, okay? So that kind of tells you, I think they're copying Tim Holtz, but look how fabulous these are. Okay, and then there's identification, all kinds of stuff, numbers, all the kind of stuff you need, identity card, all the kind of stuff you need. You could even do a, what is it called? A visa. When you travel, a travel visa. That's not the, you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Let me just see. A passport. We can even make passports. So I think that's going to be something I make next, because I have so much stuff for passports. So you want stuff that has identification. This one even had, these have signatures on it. The last one had signatures. The only thing I wish this would have had, not just signatures, but what I wanted was Like, see the identification right here? I wish they had people's name printed out, not just signatures. But you want the signature too. And also, I wish they would have had addresses. But I'll show you what I did for those two things. I'm still going to search for addresses. These are some of the other ones I got. I ended up using this one because it had like a name and an address on it. Okay? Again, I kind of wish it was just regular print because that's how it really would be on a real one. But you know what you do is you make do. Okay, these all came up when I said Tim Holtz, and I've shown these before in my I've shown all these before. These now this isn't for what we're doing today, but just wanted to show you when I did that. This is what also I got, and these are all like $2, you guys. Look at all these tickets and stuff. I want to make like vintage tags with those. So I got to make another video on making vintage, not tags, vintage labels. Look at this one. More postal stuff. Numbers, airmail. I just love it. Love it. So if you type in Tim Holtz stamps, these will come up and you can go ahead and start choosing all those. Okay, so let's get started. And I already pre-chose all of the stamps off those sheets. They're all right here, and I'll show them to you as we go along, just so for the the sake of the video. And the two pictures we're going to use is I'm going to use this lady here. Okay, isn't she pretty? When I said vintage headshots, she came up. And then this is beautiful Dorothy Danridge again. Okay, so we're going to do those. Okay, so what I did is I took a piece of cardstock. I used my heavy duty cardstock, but you can just use regular cardstock. And I cut these out the size of like a credit card or a license. So get your credit card and your license out. And what I actually did is I just took the card. Let me see if this has my information on it. No, it doesn't. I took the card and I put it onto the piece of cardstock. Like, let's just suppose, like, this is the cardstock I used. I put it on here like this. And then I took a pencil and just went like this. Just so I can get this size. And the reason I didn't just measure it, because the measurement is like 3 by 3/8, and I'm not good with all that. But so what that did is it got me the size. So then I took this to my slicer and I sliced like this. Okay, and that's how I got these. You can do it any way you want. So our first one's right here, and I have it already all cut out. So how we prepare this first, let me show you. Let me get a book page so I have something to. Okay. So the first thing I like to do is I'm going to take some Distress Oxide, and this is the tea dye. Makeup brush from Dollar Tree. Okay, make sure you get these at Dollar Tree. This is a big one. Actually, they don't sell this at Dollar Tree. They sell this size at Dollar Tree. But I'm going to use this big one. And they're on the makeup aisle, and they're great for your inks. When you want to work a bigger surface, I think they're way better for a bigger surface than something like this, which we're going to use that in a second. And I'm doing both sides because I want these to look like old identification cards. So they're not just driver's license, they're identification cards. Okay. And I want it to look really nice and old. You know, we're going to do 2 of them today, so let's just get 2 done. Oh, you know what? This one's kind of big. You know what? Maybe we'll do it this big. Yeah, let's go for it. This one's a little bit bigger than this. I don't know how I ended up cutting that a little bit bigger, but let's go for that. I like it being a little longer, especially for this picture here, because this picture is a little bit bigger. So, yeah, that's going to work. Okay. And when you make these, you don't have to try to make them exactly like mine. You may not have the same exact stamps that I have. So it'll just give you that idea. Also, pull out your, I looked up, I Googled identification cards, and saved them on my phone, screenshotted them on my phone, just so I had like an example of an identification card. So do that. Or you can screenshot my identification cards just so you have an idea. And they're not going to be exactly like mine because, you know, we don't all have the same exact stamps like this. Or when you go to find them from Temu, you may not be able to find the same exact ones, but it gives you a, you know, an idea of what you're doing. Okay, then I want to, of course, ink these. So I'm going to take my Distress Vintage Photo archival ink and ink the edges. Now I'm going to go in with this one. And I have a laminator, and I was going to laminate these, but then I thought they probably didn't have laminated cards way back when, and I want these to look real vintagey. They just probably had them on thick paper. I mean, they might have laminated them then. I don't know, but I just thought it looks more vintage if I didn't have that lamination on it. So, and I'm doing it to both sides. Okay. All right. We'll just work one card at a time, but I wanted to, we'll work this one first. I wanted to do that process together since I had all that out. Okay. Next. Okay, so where are the cards that I just did? Okay, here they are. I also want to have a card here inside of me so I can kind of remember my process of what I did. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to glue the picture in. So we're going to do this one. Okay, so I'm going to take some of my Jot glue here. And I'm going to put that down in the corner here. And the reason I do the picture first, then, because everything else can go around the picture to fit in good. Like, then I know where to put the, like, identification and all of that, okay? So then, I have two different identifications. I have this one here, and this one's a really, it says identity card, and it's really small. I use that one, the picture's really big, and I don't have the room for identification to go all the way across. But this one I do have a room, so I have this identification. Let me put it on a stamp. All right, let me see if I got this right. Now, the other thing is I would get a block, and hopefully they have them from Temu, or get them from somewhere that have lines. See how this stamp, this has lines on it? Then you can line your stamps up straight. Which, doing this kind of work, it's kind of important to line up the everything straight. Just a second. I dropped my stamp. All right, so let me line this up on here. Because it's easy to put your stamp on crooked when you have the blocks that don't have the lines on them. All right, I'm going to do all of it in black. And the first thing I like to do is I like to do a first stamp on the side to make sure that you have it upright. For one, make sure it's inked up good. Because always when you ink it the second time, it's the better inking. Have you ever noticed that? And also because these stamps are small, so it's hard to tell if you have the stamp upside down or not. So, I gotta scoot my chair over. It's hard to tell if you have the stamp upside down or not. And then that tells you if you have it the right way. So, we want the identification to go, to center it, and you're just doing the best you can. Center it at the top. You don't have to be completely perfect. Okay, very nice. Okay, so we got that. The next thing we want to do is I want to do the number. See this right here? So what I have is I'll set it up for you so you can see. I'm so happy I have a couple of stamps that have these lines on them. It's like these stamp blocks. This is a stamp block. That's stamp block is what you're going to look up if you're looking for one that has lines and you don't already have one with lines. Okay. All right, again, I'm going to test this out first. Perfect. So look at that. That's what we're going to put on there now. Okay. And it's actually, look at, see how everything, this is not totally straight. So I need to reposition this on here. So that's what the, just testing out your stamp can do first. Just to make sure. Just a second while I arrange this on here. That the NO period for number, that's a separate little stamp that I have to line up with it. So I'm doing that right now. And if I can't do this in an orderly time, I'm going to pause this video, but I think I got it. Yeah, I got it. Also, the number, you would think, because it needs to be NO period number and then the number, you would think that it needs to go over here on this side of the number. It goes it's last. It goes this way. It's to the right, not to the left, which is normally you put the number, the NO period, and then the number comes. But because of your stamping, you have to put the NO on this side. All right. How do I know? Because I made that mistake already. I wasn't really thinking. Okay, now everything lines up nice. So see, it's right there. See how I lined it up a lot better? Okay. So let's do that. So let's line this up and put this where we want it. That's going to be good right there. And I hold it for just a second to make sure the ink makes its way with the paper. Perfect. Look how nice that looks. Okay. And these are fun. This is a fun afternoon just to sit here and just make these and make these and make these. All right. Next, okay, right here, see how it has a name here? Well, it's really a signature. So I wish, you see how this is like block lettering? I wish they had names with block lettering. So that is something I'm going to look for next time. I'm on Temu. I'm going to look for that. They may or may not have it. But anyway, so here's one with the name. So I'm going to put that on my block and we'll do the name next. We're not trying to make it look perfect. We're just trying to give that look of an identification card. So don't worry if everything's not perfect. Just find something to represent what you're trying to do. Okay, so I lined that up nice. That's the name right there. And we'll put that right below. Nice. Okay. Now, below this would be the address, but I didn't have any of these stamps didn't have an address on it. So what I did is this one here. This was from the the postage stamps I was showing you. It's like a postal stamp. Right here looks like a name and address and all that, and even a signature. So it looks, I'll show it to you. Let me stamp it out. Let me line this up, and then you can see. So that's what I'm talking about. Just, you know, do your best with what you have. Also, if you have a bunch of stuff on the stamp, just ink up the part that you want. And that's the only part that I want. So that's the part that I'm going to ink up. And if you get ink on the other parts, just wipe it off with your baby wipe. Okay, and I'm going to test this out first. Yeah, nice. I didn't have enough ink on it, but see how nice that looks? And it looks so official. Okay. Get a lot of ink on there. And I feel like I got some ink right here, so on this other part of the stamp, so let's wipe that off. There we go. Alright, so let's line this up below the name. Okay, I think I got it. So this is super simple, you guys, but I just think these are so neat to make for your junk journals. And also, it'd be nice to make a big pile of these and give this to a crafty friend who loves junk journaling, art journaling, crafting. Look at this. Look how fabulous this looks. Isn't that cool? We went from here to here. Fabulous. Okay, and I actually did two of basically the same card. Okay, so, oh, I'll tell you what I skipped. I should have done it at the beginning. We'll do it to both of them right now. I didn't. You can corner chomp your corners, or you don't have to. But I think corner chopping it makes it look more official. And now I need to, again, because now the corner got chopped off there, so I gotta. There we go. Look how much. Look how much better that looks. I love it. All right, so let's corner chomp this one too. And if you can't if you don't have a corner chomper, it's simple. Just simply just cut the corner, just the tip off the corner like that. And then after you do the tip, then just round off just little bit by little bit. There we go. And now everything's rounded. Okay? And then re-ink those edges where you, if you didn't do it before, which I should have. Okay. Next. All right, so now we have this picture, right? You know, let's take this picture and just ink the edges on it. I haven't been inking the edges on the pictures, but. And I didn't use cardstock for this. I just copied it onto paper because I think the paper, it's going to glue down better. It's going to collage better because really what we're doing is collaging with the picture. Okay. All right, how is this gonna fit on here? Nice. Perfect. And this is coming off the corner just a tad bit, so I'm just going to trim off the little bit of edges on there. Always make sure that you wipe your scissors with the baby wipe because you do not want any glue on your scissors. And then right here I'm just going to just ink this up a little bit more. All right, so right now this is what we have. Okay, now Next is the identification. Is this going to fit here? Okay, on this one, because I used a longer card, the identification fits on here. Unlike the last time I did one, let's see. When the picture was so big, I had to use my smaller identity card. And then I used this little thing below it. That's also a stamp. Okay, but this time, since I made the card a little longer, you know what? This is going to be my new thing. I like the card a little longer because then I can use a little bit bigger picture. So if you want, measure out your with a driver's license or a credit card, and then maybe make it like a 1/4 inch longer. Is that about a 1/4 inch? That's even a 1/2 inch longer, see, than the other one. And maybe make it a 1/2 inch longer. And it'll give you more to work with. So this is going to be my new size right here. I like that. Okay, so next is the identification. Let's see if it fits on this way, yeah. I'm lining it up on the line. Okay. And let's test it out to make sure I have everything good. Yep, I do. And I never stamp with my first stamp. I always stamp with my second stamp. Haven't you noticed the second stamping is always better? Like you ink it, stamp it, and then ink it again, and then stamp it again. It's always better on the second time. Hold it there for a second. There we go. Nice. And I'll show you something. If I have anything, like see how there's little bits missing a little bit, just a tiny bit? I love that because that makes it look more vintage and more old. So most of the time I'm not looking for a perfect stamping because anything that looks like that, just like a little bit, is makes it look more vintage, makes it look more old, in my opinion. Okay, so next is the number. So again, we're going to line the number up on our block here. Let me line this up on the line. And you know what? I'm going to start doing 2 at a time because it takes a minute to line your stamps up on the stamp block to make sure it's all straight. So you might as well stamp, not just do the distressing and the inking on both ears. Go ahead and make 2 at a time because then you can just use the same setup on your block. All right, let me test this out and see how this is going to look. Oh, that looks good. But see, I'm glad I tested it because I had my, the number, the NO period, I had it upside down. It's hard to tell sometimes because the stamps are small. All right, let's see now if I got it right. Yep, now we got it right. All right, perfect. So let's do the number on here. Nice. Okay. And then next, let's go to the name. And we'll use this name. I'm going to use a different one. This one's a little bit longer, so this one's going to fit on, I think it's going to fit here. Let's see. No, it's too long. Okay, we'll use the one we just had. Well, what is this one? I want to use a different, yeah, we'll use this one. This one will fit. All right, let's see how this is. If I got it lined up straight, also if I have it upside down or not. Nope, we got it right. Looks great. Okay, put that, stamp that in. Perfect. Look at that. Okay, next would be the like address and signature. Now, I may be able to put one of this again down here for the signature. On these, I just had to use the address stamp, which looks like it has a signature on it. So, I'll show you what I'm talking about. So just make do. You're not trying to have like an exact replica of an ID. You're just having a representation. What shows it's an identification card is just that is this. These two things. If you have these two, identification and this, you can fiddle-faddle the rest of it. Is that a word? Fiddle-faddle the rest of it. Okay. Yeah, I won't have room to. We'll use the signature that's on this stamp. Very nice. There we go. And see how this is a little bit more faded than that? Perfect, because these are, we want these to be vintage identity cards. So if this faded, that's perfect. I love it. Look how beautiful that is. So we made this one just now. And like I said, I love the little bit longer. Let me tell you what that is. I'm just curious what that is. Yeah, it's like it's like a half an inch longer. So just make another half an inch longer than the regular size of a license is. And we have this one we made today. And then I already had made this one. And I had made this one. Dorothy Danridge again. Isn't she just beautiful? And then this beautiful woman here. So, we have all of these. So you guys, let me know if you're going to try your hand at these. If you don't have these type of stamps, go to Timo and order yourself some and put in Tim Holtz stamps. And this will come up and you can get these stamps. And I would pick up the identification ones, the postal ones, all of them. Because they're going to be great for other stuff too. And believe me, once you start looking, you're just going to want to keep on buying stamps. I went stamp crazy. I bought a bunch of vintagey looking Christmas stamps and everything too. I just went nuts. So, there we go. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, I'd love for you to do so. If you can give this video a thumbs up. Any comments or questions, leave them below. Come visit me on Facebook and Instagram. Come join our group. It's called Our Magical Little Place. So if you make these, share them with us. But if you do any other type of crafting or junk journaling or anything, share it with us. Come get inspired, inspire others. If you have an Etsy shop, if you have a YouTube channel, you can leave links, okay? And remember, you guys, we have more in common than we don't, and together we're stronger. All right, I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.